Hello, everybody. Welcome to Back Nine coverage of the 2021 Wright Brothers Open, presented by LWS. My name is Bart Kowalewski, and I'm joined today by Alex Evers.
Just wrapped up the front nine. Looking forward to see how this back nine pans out. We got everyone still kind of in the mix. Anything can happen on this back nine, especially with hole 18.
Yep. Starting off on hole 10. It's just, clear this hill that's right in front of your face and try to get as much distance as you can. Definitely going to be one of the easier par fours on the course.
I was going to say, I would consider this probably to be one of the must-gets.
Yeah, you're definitely kicking yourself if you're not threeing this hole.
There's not really any danger to speak of. As you see, there is the hill to clear, but for everyone in the open field, it should be pretty easy.
Yep. Harley putting a good move on that disc. We all know that he can put it out there.
Tony no slouch either. He's really added some distance to his game this year.
Yep. I think we had a decent headwind here. You saw Tony put some Anheuser on it there. But again, you don't have to put insane distance on it. The hole measures like 680 feet, so it's very rare that someone's going to get a 2 here. And Matt putting a good move on it there, putting it in the fairway.
Tony first out, maybe around 280-ish to the pin. Leaks a little right, but it's inside the circle.
Matthew's up next.
Plenty of room to work a wide hyzer.
Also leaves it just a little short there.
The valley can be kind of deceiving. It kind of works its way down and then back uphill. That's perfect right there. Kind of just throw it into the hill, let the hill, catch your disc.
Yep. And then the one thing about this hole is sometimes if you finish left, you can finish in this rough patch, waist-high grass, and sometimes it can be hard to find your disc.
So Harley got close enough to be able to just lay up a nice jump putt. Might have even been a half go on that.
Yeah. It's Tony looking at a 25-footer. Yeah, great commitment there. Good make. You're definitely going to lose strokes to the field, taking a 4 on this hole. And that looked so good. It looked like he got so many chains there and just above the cage.
One of those 50-50 balls. Some of those are just going to kind of drop straight down, and others kind of just spit out, as you saw.
Yep, and then Harley's going to tap in his birdie there. So 3 birdies there with the par for Matt. And Harley now within 1 of Matt there. You see the plethora of birdies there, averaging 3.26.
So it averaged even better than I would have expected.
Yeah. Dayton Disc Golf with the whole sponsorship there. And we're moving on to hole 11, 548 feet. We're teeing off from out of bounds here. And you just want to get the disc to go inbounds. You don't want to turn it over and leave it on the road or beyond because that's out of bounds.
I don't think we'll see probably any 2s on this hole.
Yeah, a lot of people want to, try to get some distance and they want to turn it over and they can turn it out of bounds. Harley there though, I'm not sure what happened if he was trying to go for it, but he didn't get much turn on the disc at all. And it just went into the tall grass on the left side, which is safe.
Tony finds himself leaking a little left as well.
Yeah, I think he turned it over too much, and it went behind that big tree. Also stayed in that waist-high grass.
That is the miss, though. The grass is tough, but it's safe, so you'll take that. Looks like he managed to stay safe there.
Yeah, he stayed safe. It did turn towards the road a little bit, so it was a little nerve-wracking for him, but he stayed safe. And this pin position is a little difficult just because of the slope that the basket sits on. And you see just a phenomenal shot there by Matt, able to match the slope, and his putter just sits and doesn't move anywhere.
It's a ballsy. It's a
Tony
ballsy
trying to do
shot.
the same. Leaves it a little short. Will be a little tough of a putt, but I think he'll have no problems with that.
Harley looking to do the same, just
Scoot up
scoot
there.
it up.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's good right there. And you know, from this distance, absolutely no doubt in my mind, I'm not running this basket because you hit the band or the cage and it's going to roll straight out of bounds.
Even a layup I've seen catch up on edge and roll.
Yeah. This could be a tricky putt because you leave it just a little low and you hit the cage, and there's a big chance of that roll away. So, nice putt there by Tony.
A good change or comebacker will be farther than your first putt.
Yep. Harley, good putt there. Commitment there. And myself and Matthew will tap in our birdie threes.
A 3 here is fine. You know, I don't think we'll see any 2s on the day.
I think if any 2s were to come, it probably would have been from this card, especially with Harley having the distance there. That hole is a par 4, averaging 3.43. Team Hazy Shade with the whole sponsorship there. And moving on to hole 12. It's in the B position, 219 feet. This is a relatively new pin position. It hasn't been there before. And from the gold tee, it's a difficult get because you can't quite see the line that you want to hit. You want to throw the disc out straight to hit this tunnel on the right side and then kind of have a sharp finish to the left.
That looked to
That looks
be
tasty.
pretty ideal.
Looks real good.
Yeah, that looked real good. Mr. Tony Moe lining
to
up
be going
beforehand.
Gator 3, I think.
Nice shot.
And I think it turned out pretty good. Maybe a little long, but stayed clean.
Matt a little early, might have fought through a bit.
I like that play. I think the early play is the better play because the basket really isn't that far away. And the earlier you can be without hitting anything means you'll be close to the basket.
Good eye.
And there was myself just, laying it up, trying to get it close to the basket so I don't have to worry about the comebacker. Tony just, circle 2, trying to give it a little bid, a little wide, a little high. Not a bad effort. And Harley with the...
That didn't lack commitment. We'll say that.
No,
that
not at
was
all.
a hard hit.
Oh, great 2 there by Matt. Good putt there. Gets the lone birdie.
Tony back for par. Just outside. Another one of those 50-50 balls, I would call it.
Just low, kind of low left again. Like, got a lot of chain. Could have stuck. I think that's the first missed putt we've seen from Tony today.
I would expect it to be the last. So Tony catching the lone bogey. Matt with the lone birdie, able to gain a stroke on our leaders.
Jesse Diller with the whole sponsorship there. Thank you very much. The whole averaging just under par, 2.87. Kind of surprised by that, to be honest.
Not a whole lot of trouble to be had. I would assume, just a few birdies, maybe 1 or 2 bogeys.
Yeah. And we have hole 13, over 1,000 feet here. Early gap.
Another hole where, you just want to get off the tee.
Yeah, and, Matthew just absolutely pures this gap. The distance doesn't really matter as long as you can get it over 250 feet. You just want to hit this gap cleanly.
Are you going inside? Yeah.
Yeah, I try to go inside with an Enigma, try to flip it up. And I do catch a tree that kicks me out and right.
Partly catching the last tree. Looks like he might have got a forward kick, though.
Yeah, he was trying to go for that left gap that you'll see Tony is also going for. And Tony just got a brutal kick there back to the right side of the fairway, and
it really just results in a pitch out.
Yeah.
It pinches off your line. And that looks to be really all you can do from there.
Yep. Really the best that you can do from there. Harley's looking to go big here after not hitting the gap clean.
With his arm, I wouldn't count out the birdie. It'll be tough, but I wouldn't count it out.
Yep, and he got good distance on it. He might be in the rough, but he could have an opportunity at birdie still.
Tony trying to get it over, and he does. That was a great third shot.
Beautiful shot there from Tony.
Should be able to hopefully save a par still.
Yep.
That would be a tremendous par save.
Yeah, after going early, yes.
You, on the other hand, you're looking to try and get a birdie.
Yep, and on this shot, you just want to be left so you have better angle going in at the basket. If you go too direct at the basket, you'll get cut off by that inside corner. You see Matt also going left, which is good, so he should have good angle of attack going into the basket.
Harley should have a little wide forehand hyzer here. There are a lot of trees to contend with. Low is a good play. Looking for a hyzer, maybe a skip. It's probably circle two's edge, maybe.
Yeah, there's still a decent amount of length to get there.
And there is water behind the basket. In this location, it is a little ways back, but it still can come into play on a big skip.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh. And Tony, giving it a nice approach there. It checked up relatively quickly, so I think he'll be inside circle one.
Are you going FD3 here?
Yep, I'm trying to throw an FD3 wide.
You gotta chill out though.
That's good.
Maybe a little short, but it should be a putt.
Yeah, I left that one a little short. I was afraid to challenge that backside.
With the forehand line, it really does ask you to push that back edge. While it looks like a straight hyzer, it kind of straightens up a little bit, and you really kind of want to push it flat.
And Matthew with just a textbook shot there. That's the gap that he was going for all day, and he puts it right down the middle, right next to the basket.
While most would probably lay this up, Harley is an aggressive player, so he's going to give it a bid. Looks like it might have fell short of the water.
Yep, it checked up, so he did not go in the water there. And I've got I think this is about 30 feet left for birdie.
Taking your time. Left it a little high.
Yep, a little high there. Tony for par save, I believe, here. Yeah, just a little low.
You can hear the frustration.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just marginally low. You see how it reacted off the basket. It hit the top nubs. And he's frustrated after a great effort to save 5 there. Nice stroke by Harley there.
Here you are tapping in. Matt to do the same.
And Matt's going to take, just an absolute textbook birdie there. And the only birdie on the card. Just shows you like a clean shot out of the gap. What it can do for you on that hole.
And just like that, we have a tie at the top. You, Tony, and Matt are all tied at 11 down now.
Yep. The hole averaged exactly at 5, right at par.
Hole 14. You have 2 lines here. With this pin position, it kind of favors the left side, but if you have a big righty hyzer, it plays just fine for that as well.
Yeah, you definitely have to throw the disc outwards if you're throwing this hyzer, unless you have like a big kind of Harley / Garrett Girthy kind of spike hyzer that has that kind of distance. I'm really trying to push it out flatter and then have a
As long as you
finish to the left.
That looked to be pretty ideal.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
Harley, just like his backhand, he has a powerful forehand. So he's going to take, I guess, what you would call the shorter way. Not
Yeah.
by much, but
Yeah, it definitely you have less arc to the shot going this way.
Probably going Destroyer.
Come on.
Stands it up.
Wow. Nice shot, dude.
That's a rip.
Yeah, that's 420 feet
Uphill.
and slightly uphill. So it takes a good amount of power to throw a disc that high off the ground and to make it to the basket.
Tony, a little inside.
A little inside. I think he manages to sneak by it. And you see here, Matt, if you hyzer out a little early, you get caught in this like island of trees and bushes, and it's super difficult to get out. And he was able to get out and put it inside circle 1, which is pretty good feat.
So Tony did manage to beat the last group of trees as well. Man, it's just 3 holes in a row of missed putts.
Yep. Unable to convert there.
Very
Nice
Harley.
birdie there from Harley. Nice confident putting stroke there. And then here is Matt from his shot from the rough.
Nice save, man.
Really, really good recovery from where he was at.
Kind of a weird knee straddle handy putt.
And there you are, tapping in a birdie.
Where's catch cam, man?
Definitely a good get.
Yes, I'll be happy. I'm super happy with that. Again, this is the easiest pin position for this hole, and that hyzer is able to access it. But still not easy by any means. So myself and Harley, again, getting the birdies there. Tony and Matthew taking the pars. And there's the 3 birdies there. Hole averaging exactly 3. Thank you to Tony Moe and Team Hazy Shade for the whole sponsorship there.
Moving on to another one of the must-gets. Straight downhill, maybe around 350-ish, I think.
Yep.
Really, any play to get it close.
Exactly. The only pin here, and you just, if you're throwing a righty hyzer, you definitely want to get the width on it.
Travel.
Skip. And the grass is thick there, so you're not going to get that much of a skip, but I was throwing FD3 there. I think that Harley's throwing his pig, which is just nuts. And he's also able to put it inside the circle. Matthew.
Following suit, just a wide hyzer, let it filter.
Yep, great width on it and good
Nice
checkup. Pretty close to the basket.
Tony will show you the left side.
The lefty route. It's basically the same thing. You just want to get it over the rough here.
Maybe not quite as wide as you wanted, but in the
How about
circle.
this?
Yep, still putting.
So Tony's missed his last 3 or so putts. I look to see him bounce back on this one.
A beautiful putt there, right in the middle.
It's probably going to be on.
Hopefully that will get him going again for the last 3 holes.
Yeah, nice birdie. And me from similar distance, about 20, maybe 25 feet.
Again, taking your time. Good correction.
Harley, after the pig off the tee, able to cash in the birdie there. And last will be Matt.
Finish off the star frame.
Yep.
Nice putt.
Good
Definitely
hole.
what you would expect to see there.
No.
John Schwan giving the little Jomez star frame.
Yep. Star birdie there. It's still tight. 3 strokes between first and last on this card with 3 of the hardest holes to go.
It's definitely still anybody's ball game.
Yep. Hole averaging 2.52.
Shout out to you, Bart, for sponsoring the hole.
And we'll move on to hole 16. A pretty difficult hole here.
Takes a really demanding tee shot. You're looking to get, I think, 380 to 400 off the tee, maybe.
Yep.
And you'll have what would be relatively a straight shot, kind of uphill.
Yes.
to the basket.
Yeah, there's in the middle of the fairway. It's a good 2-shot hole. There's a big pinch off in this woods line on the right. Harley's throwing the forehand.
He's going
Beat
aggressive.
it, beat it.
This is very aggressive. He's trying to put it into that gap. And the gap is maybe 30, 40 feet wide.
Can't tell if he quite made the corner. That looked to be a stabler disc, so I think
Yeah.
he might be a little early if that took a flare skip.
So smooth.
And Matt, just look at
Effortless.
this.
Good
That
shot.
looks pretty ideal.
It's perfect. He got a nice turn out of it, and then it was able to settle flat. And as long as he's long enough, he should be looking really good.
Tony just ripping on a destroyer. The
Yeah.
easy hyzer for him.
Yep.
It looks to be pretty good.
Yep, this drive sets up nicely for him. He's able to really dial in that distance.
Even when you do get a good shot into the fairway, you can find yourself with a little trouble. There are a few trees in the center
Yep.
of the gap, as you see here. Looks like you went a little long. Maybe trying to stand something up to push the back edge.
Yeah, and I hit something right in this gap, so I wasn't able to fight through cleanly.
So here's Matt, in a prime spot, but even then, just the one tree right in the middle mentally is in your head.
Yeah, it's difficult to get through the gap cleanly. Tony throwing a forehand here, and if he can miss this last tree, yes. I mean, that's perfect. He's circle one, putting for birdie on one of the more difficult holes.
I mean, if you had to do a tutorial, that's how you would do it.
And this is Harley for 3. He was in the rough, and he had to pitch out. So this is his 3rd shot. Put himself in good position here.
Going standstill,
Keep flipping.
sneak
Get
by.
under that bush and float down.
And those
might-
2 pines bushes, they are, they're thick, and they definitely grab discs. And if you can get behind them, they make the putt a little tricky. And this is myself trying to throw a faster disc with a shorter reach back so I get some kind of a skip.
The uphill and the thick grass kind of
Yeah.
took that away from you. You do have a look to save your par, though. Matt just trying to put this close. Sneak around that last tree. I
Yep.
think he did.
A little past it, but he should have a putt there. And then this is exactly what I was talking about. If you put yourself behind this little tree and bush,
So you're going to go forehand
it's
putt?
just, it takes away any kind of putt, even though you're still inside circle 1.
Wow.
Look at that. Great little, forehand putt. Little ultimate shot there. And then this, I believe, is Matt. He's past the tree,
Yep.
so he didn't really have to contend with it much. Nice clean putt. Good par there.
Well, so you did find yourself directly behind it.
Yeah, I definitely had to stretch my short legs as far as they would go here.
Working the ante. Nice. Could you see the basket?
Barely. I actually nicked a branch of that tree, but it was able to fight through it and drop into the basket. Super happy with that par. And Tony with a really, really good birdie there.
I expect to only see maybe 1, 2, or 3 birdies on that hole.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many.
So Tony grabbing a stroke on everyone, but a 4 is not bad on that hole.
No. And Tony tying the lead at 13 down. And he is the only birdie on that hole, averaging 4.35. And we'll move on to hole 17, 663 feet. It's a par 4, and you just kind of want to fire away at the woods line here. And you just want to land right in the middle of that woods line, find one of the lanes. There's a couple lanes, one on the right and one on the left.
You're looking for the right side lane, maybe filter a little to the left.
Yep.
That anywhere down in those trees, you'll take it.
Yeah. it's hard to, you know, find a good position to land your disc just because how sporadic the trees are.
Harley's maybe hoping to go all the way through.
Got enough angle? No.
If that stays,
Yep.
and just I said clean, he catches a tree.
If the roller can get through all the trees, you know, you can get down there. I don't think it's really doable,
Come on, fight back,
but
dude.
It would make the birdie very easy.
Saturday night
Let's
at
put it
8
that way.
o'clock. Yeah, he seemed
and
like
Matt
he loved
just
it.
turned it over just a little bit too much. He definitely wanted it to hyzer out so he could get into the gap where the trees are. Tries to throw a little forehand roller out shot, but hits decently early again.
Tony's kind of caught in the middle, but he did go far enough down to where there are a few gaps. Looking to go, looks to be a
Get there,
putter
beat it.
straight at it.
Oh, yeah.
Fights through the last tree.
Nice. Fight.
Probably circle two.
Yep. No, I think he got into circle
Did he
one
sneak
there.
into
I
circle?
think so, yeah. And Matt with his third. He's got this little forehand line to get it around the tree.
Slow down. Still
And
fight.
yeah, well executed there.
And then Harley probably going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, Super Wright here is pretty pinched off, but he's going to have to take an aggressive angle here.
As long as you're short of that grouping of trees there is
Ooh, nice.
it is a little more forgiving.
Yep.
As you see him looks to fight through.
And then I got my disc settled kind of right by this tree, which is a little annoying, frustrating, especially throwing this forehand.
Looks to be enough room to the left to work in the hyzer.
Yeah.
Do a tester putt with this elevated pin.
Yep, for sure. You definitely want to put this upshot close because this is not an easy putt.
Harley's spinning it, catches cage.
Good effort from there. I mean, he's deep inside circle two there. And Matt for a par save here from distance.
Get in there. Oh, we've seen quite a few of those from everybody today. Just slightly left or right.
Yeah.
Just aren't falling.
It was a great effort there to save par.
So are you just outside the circle maybe?
I think it's just inside.
Just inside. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good feeling putt there. And Tony, similar putt, a few steps closer.
Looking to hang pace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great stroke.
And then Harley and Matt to tap these in. Matt's will result in a bogey.
Yeah, so Matt's gonna fall one back. He was one back of the lead there.
We'll see where everyone falls going into hole 18. Even being 2 strokes back is still gettable. There's a lot to be had on 18.
Yes, 18 is a monster. And of course, as always, there is a backup. So myself and Tony are tied at 14 down. Blakely's at 11 down, and Harley's actually at 10 down. So 1 stroke difference between those two. Thanks to John Hollingshed for the whole sponsorship.
Only 5 birdies on that hole, averaged above par. So here it is, hole 18, par 4, just under 800 feet. You got a clear, kind of like a creek, an oversized creek as I would say, and then scramble through the fairway from there. Tony able to get what looks to be a pretty ideal drive.
Yeah, it was a pretty good shot there from Tony. And then I'm up next. I'm throwing a PD here off the tee, trying to get good distance and just a nice straight line.
That looks to be a pretty good spot.
Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted to put it. If you can just miss this kind of bowl in the middle with all these trees, you're in good shape.
Harley going a little inside.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an early release, and he caught some of that island trees, and it dropped him OB.
So I think he'll unfortunately have to just re-tee. That. It's really all you can ask. Oh wow, he skips way up there.
Yeah, he got that straight finish. Harley electing to re-tee here, and he unfortunately threw that one too low and hit the bank of the creek there. And as a card, we decided that he did get to advance to the other side of the creek because the line was right on the edge. And you can see, the struggle of 18. It can definitely show its teeth sometimes.
Even Tony, being in the
Miss it.
fairway, still
Miss
has
it.
a lot of trees to
Get
contend
off.
with.
Yeah, I got off.
He cut the last one, maybe, but still not in a bad spot.
Yep.
This is a forehand roller.
Yep, and
It's
I
good.
believe that this one was able to make it out, so he had a good line for the next shot. And
Looks like you snuck through all three of those trees.
yeah, I didn't hit the gap that I was going for there.
There it is.
There it is. That's not the that's not the gap, but I definitely released early and got a little fortunate here to have gone through the gap that I did.
Were you trying to go wide there?
No, I was trying to go up the middle, but I hit one of the smaller gaps directly to the right of it.
You will take that all day,
I
though.
would take it. And Matt here, you can see just a little, like a couple feet further than me,
Nice
and
shot,
you
man.
can see how drastically like the footing changes, and you can't attack the hole from there.
Tony needs to put this one close then. Looks like it went leaking a little early.
Yeah, I think that was a little higher than he wanted. And that path behind the basket plays as a river OB, so if your disc sticks on it, it will be out of bounds.
Get in.
Yeah. Looks like it might have been a half bit on that one.
Yeah, I mean, really close, to floating it in there.
Most likely knows at this point, he's at where he is, so he can kind of give it that run.
Harley with a long jump putt. And Tony from circle 2.
Hair short, but
Yeah.
that's a good 15 feet uphill.
Yep. And then I take the layup there because I took a look at the scores, and I didn't really want to risk anything there.
There is the OB road right behind it, which is easy to find.
There's Harley finishing the round. I mean, really good round by Harley. He just unfortunate there on the last hole. Things didn't go his way.
Take away that one hole, and he had a pretty good round.
Yeah. And then Matt looking to finish out there. Good putt.
Should see Tony tap out. Oh, there he goes. Give you the honors of having the last putt.
Yep, Tony taps out, and I will tap out there and take my 4. And that'll be it.
Shout out to you for the big victory.
I'll take it. It's definitely one that wasn't easy to come by. All these players are really good shooters. Final score 15 down for me, 13 for Tony, 12 for Matthew there. I think it was 7 for Harley.
So yeah, that hole averaged half a stroke above par.
Yeah, so you can see how difficult that hole is, and it being hole 18, any tournament or any round played here at Caesars Fords just comes down to the last hole because you can take some big numbers. So myself in first, Tony in second, Matthew Blakely for a tie in third with Jeremiah Krause, and you can see the rest of the field here. And that should conclude our coverage of the 2021 Wright Brothers Open. Thanks again to LWS for sponsoring the tournament, and thanks to you, Alex, for being my co-commentator today.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
We'll see you guys on the next one.